Welcome, dreamer. Let your thoughts drift away. Let the noise of the day soften into stillness. Before we begin, please put your phone away. There's nothing to watch here, not in the way your eyes expect. This story isn't for your eyes. It's for your breath and your drifting thoughts. Let them slow. Let the room soften. You don't need to focus here, because tonight I'll bring you to a magical place. Together, we'll walk through a forest, but not just any forest. One that you'll build in your imagination. One that knows exactly what you need tonight. Close your eyes and follow me to the forest covered under a cold white blanket. The snow had fallen all night, blanketing the world in a hush so complete it felt like a secret had been kept by the earth itself. You step out from a wooden porch at dawn, boots sinking into soft drifts that reach your ankles. Above, the sky is pale gold, a sunrise wrapped in silence. The forest lies ahead, dressed in white. Your breath curls in the air, slow and calm. The hush is a living thing, touching your ears, your chest, the rhythm of your feet. Beside you, a small group of huskies waits patiently, their eyes bright, their fur dusted with frost. They do not bark or pull. They simply wait, sharing the stillness with you. Their sled is light and smooth, resting on the surface of the snow like it belongs there. You move forward, slowly at first. The sled glides behind you, guided by the huskies who know the way. Snow-laden trees part before you. Tall spruce, pine, and birch, their limbs heavy with powder, their branches whispering above in the faintest wind. The deeper you go, the softer the world becomes. Every sound is cushioned, wrapped in snow. A distant crow calls once, and then silence returns, deeper than before. You feel the crunch of snow beneath your boots. Each step is like a heartbeat, anchoring you in the moment. You arrive to a wide clearing where the snow has gathered in rippling drifts, untouched. The sun begins to peek over the horizon, sending golden light across the white. It reflects like a sea of crushed glass. You pause here. The huskies sit, their breath pluming in the frosty air. One lies down and rolls onto its back, tail wagging slightly. The trees around the clearing stand like ancient guardians, their trunks tall and dark, their needles dusted in shimmering ice. You can hear the faint trickle of a stream beneath a frozen crust nearby. A secret sound, quiet and steady. You continue on, passing under snow-covered arches formed by bent trees. Icicles dangle like crystal lanterns, catching light and painting it across the trail. You run a glove along the bark of a tree as you pass. It's rough but familiar, like running your hand across something alive and watching. Eventually, you arrive to a small rise, and beyond it, a frozen lake. The surface is smooth and perfect, a mirror of the pale blue sky. You step out onto it gently, your boots sliding slightly. The ice holds. You can see the trapped air bubbles beneath, like constellations beneath your feet. You pause again and look up. The sky is wide, cloudless. You feel small and whole at once. A single breath inside something vast. The huskies remain at the shore, resting. You know they'll wait for you. This moment is yours. You breathe deeply. The cold air wakes you up, but softly, not with a jolt, but with clarity. You sit on the ice, cross-legged. You run your hand over its surface. It is smooth, glass-like. Beneath it, life is waiting, dormant but alive. You close your eyes and listen carefully, taking the moment in your body. You stand again, slowly, brushing the frost from your pants and coat. A new trail beckons, curving around the edge of the frozen lake. This path leads upward into a forested ridge, where tall trees line the slope like quiet sentinels. You begin the ascent, your boots pressing gently into packed snow that holds the warmth of the early sun. The light here is golden and filtered through frosted branches. As you climb, the wind returns, soft and steady, brushing against your face like the breath of the mountain itself. On your shoulder, a few snowflakes land, perfect little stars that melt without sound. At the top of the ridge, you find a platform of stone, natural, wide, and flat. The wind opens here, and you can see the forest stretch below you in every direction. A white sea of trees, valleys, and rivers wound in ice. The huskies reach the ridge a few moments after you. They do not bark, but sit beside you quietly. One of them leans against your leg. You scratch behind its ears, and it closes its eyes, content. Nearby, tucked between two old trees, rests a small, covered in white wooden bench. Not new, not carved. Grown trained from the wood itself, as if it decided one day to shape itself into comfort. You sit down, let yourself rest. The sky is brighter now, a pale winter blue streaked with silver clouds. Far in the distance, the snow glints on the surface of another frozen lake. The land seems untouched by time. You could be anywhere or anywhen. From your coat pocket, you pull a thermos. You unscrew the cap and take a sip. Warm spiced tea flows into your chest, and you close your eyes again. The flavor lingers. Cinnamon, pine, and a little something sweet, like apple or honey. A pair of birds flits past overhead, small, round, winter hardy. Their wings cut a path through the silence and disappear into the trees again. You sit for a long while, saying nothing, thinking nothing, just listening. The wind sings through the trees. The snow shifts on the branches. The world moves, but gently. You rise again when you're ready, refreshed. The huskies stir with you, stretch their legs, and begin down the slope on a gentler path, one lined with lanterns that glow faintly even in the daylight. This trail winds lower through the forest. The trees grow closer together, their trunks tall and smooth. A frozen stream cuts through the valley below, its path winding like silver thread. You follow a narrow wooden bridge across it, its boards creaking softly beneath your weight. The huskies cross before you, their movements sure and silent. On the far side, you come to a grove of birch trees. Their white bark curls like paper, and in the spaces between, you see tiny markings, etchings, left long ago by someone else walking this way. Names, dates, symbols of snowflakes and stars. You pause to trace one with your glove. It's shaped like a moon nestled inside a pine branch. Simple, beautiful. The huskies press forward again, eager. You follow. You walk deeper now into the heart of the forest. The trees grow taller here, their branches arching overhead like the ceiling of a great cathedral. Snow rests thick on every limb, muffling sound and dimming the light. Your breath echoes softly in your hood. Every step is a hush. In the quiet, you begin to notice new things. The texture of bark beneath ice, the faint footprints of a fox or lynx in the snow, the distant whisper of ice creaking as the forest settles around you. The huskies move carefully now. Their ears flick at sounds you cannot hear, ancient instincts guiding them over the drifted path. Eventually, the trees part once more, revealing a second clearing, smaller than the first, but more enchanted. In the center sits a large, round boulder, half covered in snow. Around it, the trees have formed a perfect ring. You step into the clearing. The snow here is untouched, perfect. You move slowly toward the boulder, brushing the snow from its surface with your glove. Beneath the frost, the rock is carved. Shallow swirls and lines form a pattern, something ancient, something calming. You sit on the edge. The huskies form a loose circle around you, each one resting in the snow. Their eyes close. They know this is a place for stillness. Above you, snow begins to fall again, gently, flake by flake. The sky is the color of pearl. You lie back on the stone and let the flakes land on your cheeks and your nose. You smile. The cold no longer bites. It soothes. A bird calls somewhere high in the canopy, one long bell-like note that echoes gently, then fades. You don't need to know the time. There are no clocks in this part of the forest, just breath and softness and the sound of your own heart slowing. When the snow thickens again, you rise, brushing your coat. The huskies stand with you, stretch, and wait. You continue on the trail. Soon, the trees begin to thin again, and between their trunks, you catch glimpses of wooden poles with bright flags attached. Blue, green, white. They ripple in the wind like whispers of movement against the still landscape. The path turns sharply, and there it is. A winter lodge nestled between the trees, its roof thick with snow, its windows glowing golden with firelight. Skiers glide across a path in front of you, silent and graceful. You walk closer. The door is open. Inside, the air is warm and scented with pine resin and cinnamon. A long bench sits beside a hearth. A kettle steams gently. A pair of ice skates hangs on the wall, laces tied in a bow. A handwritten sign above the hearth reads, "If you've come this far, you belong here." You sit down beside the fire. The warmth sinks into your bones. You unlace your boots and stretch your feet toward the flames. On the table in front of you is waiting a cup of hot chocolate with cream. Near them a plate full of marshmallows. You take one and heat it up in the hearth. Delicious. The huskies curl by the door waiting for you, one snoring softly. The warmth of the lodge lingers on your skin as you step outside again. The air feels crisper now, but your coat holds the heat well, and your breath rises in slow clouds. You move toward a trail marked by carved wooden posts, each one etched with a snowflake and a soft lantern hanging from its peak. The path curves around a grove of fir trees and dips downward, gently leading you toward a frozen lake nestled in a valley. It stretches wide, untouched, smooth as glass. Skates are left in a wooden box by the shore, polished, simple, well-loved. You choose a pair and lace them up slowly, sitting on a snow-dusted bench as you adjust the straps. Then You glide forward. The ice welcomes you. It is silent and true beneath your feet. Your balance finds itself easily. You glide in long arcs, the cold air brushing your face, your arms outstretched. The huskies remain on the shore, watching quietly, protecting. You skate across the wide lake, and the trees mirror themselves perfectly in the frozen surface. Every breath is crisp. Every movement feels like a kind of flying. Others have been here before you, not seen, but felt. You pass carvings in the ice, faint trails from earlier skaters now softened by snowfall. It's like reading someone's memory with your feet. As the sky darkens toward afternoon, colors begin to bloom in the sky. Soft blushes of pink and gold spreading behind the treetops. The lake reflects the light, glowing like amber beneath your blades. You slow, then stop. The wind quiets. And then, above the trees, a shimmer. Faint at first, then stronger. The northern lights. Veins of green, violet, and blue ripple across the sky in long, slow waves. They dance gently, like music made visible. You stand still, your skates anchored in the center of the frozen lake, and you simply watch. The huskies lift their heads. The lights swirl and pulse overhead, not loud, not wild, but soft, dreamlike, the kind of beauty that humbles and comforts at once. You breathe in deeply. You are entirely here, and on the other side of the lake, reindeers watching you taking the moment in. Eventually, you return to the snow-covered bench, take off your skates, and warm your hands beneath your coat. The huskies press in close, one nuzzling its head against your arm. You begin the trail back, not toward the lodge, but along a new path that leads deeper into the forest. This one is marked with braided cords strung between trees, gently swaying in the wind. The light fades slowly. The sky darkens to indigo. Stars begin to blink into place above you, like someone lighting lanterns across a ceiling. Ahead, a low cabin comes into view, nestled beneath a slope, half buried in snow, with a long sloped roof and wooden beams dusted in white. A trail of soft light leads you to its door. You reach for the handle and step inside. Inside the snow-covered cabin, the air is warm and quiet. The walls are built of pale wood, smooth and old, like driftwood washed in winter sun. A fire crackles in a sunken hearth at the center of the room. Around it, soft blankets are draped across benches, and shelves are filled with books, candles, and small carved animals. The only light comes from the fire and the gentle amber glow of frosted lanterns in the corners. You remove your coat, hang it on a carved wooden hook, and sit down by the fire. The flames move slowly, curling around the logs like dancers bowing low. On the table beside you, someone has left a pot of tea wrapped in cloth. You pour a cup. The scent is delicate. Mint, pine, maybe chamomile, and the warmth of the cup seeps into your fingers. The huskies curl up near the door, resting instantly. They know this place is safe. One yawns wide, tongue curling, before tucking its nose beneath a thick paw. You find a wool blanket and drape it over your legs. The warmth surrounds you. You lean back and close your eyes, letting the silence of the cabin fold itself around you. When you open them again, you notice something you hadn't before. A skylight above the fire. round and perfectly placed. Through it, you see the stars in sharp, perfect clarity. The northern lights are still dancing, muted now but present, like a lullaby whispered across the sky. You watch them for a long time. You don't need music. You don't need words. Just light and breath and stillness. Later, you find a bed in a small alcove. The blankets are heavy, the mattress soft. A small journal sits on the table beside it, filled with handwritten notes from others who have stayed here. Simple things: gratitude, memories, promises. You take the pen and add your own. I found the winter I needed. Quiet, alive, and kind. I'll carry it with me. You set the pen down, blow out the lantern, and lie back. The huskies have come closer now, curling up beside the bed like guardians of the dream. You pull the blanket over your chest. Your eyes drift closed. The fire pops one last time. Outside, the wind moves softly through the trees, brushing snow from their shoulders, and the reindeers from before watching through the window. The morning light finds you gently. It spills through the cabin window, golden and diffused, lighting the wooden walls like honey on snow. The fire has gone to embers. The room is still, and the air is just cool enough to make you grateful for the thick blankets around you. You stretch slowly beneath the covers. The weight of sleep still lingers in your limbs, but it feels good, not heavy, but whole. The huskies stir beside you, yawning in unison as if they too have been dreaming. You sit up. The silence is as comforting as the warmth. Outside the window, snow continues to fall, slower now, in lazy spirals. The trees are white again, dusted fresh, like the forest has put on its best clothes for the day. You take your time packing. Your gloves are warm from the hearth. Your boots are dry. When you step outside, the world greets you like an old friend. Familiar, serene, still wrapped in the hush of deep winter. The huskies are alert and joyful now, padding ahead through the fresh powder with wagging tails. The sled waits. You climb on, and then the journey home begins. But something is different. You notice the forest anew, the way light filters through frost-covered branches, the faint sound of snow slipping from leaves. The trail feels known, but not ordinary. Every step forward is like rereading your favorite page. Soft, cherished, slow. You pass the frozen lake again, still untouched, still holding the memory of your skates. You move past the ring of birch trees, the carvings in their bark now glowing slightly beneath the snow. And then the ridge where you sat beside the huskies and watched the forest stretch wide and white beneath the sky. It all feels like a story, not finished, but settled, and you are part of it now. You reach the place where it all began, the porch, the same snow, the same sky, but you're different. Something within you has quieted, aligned. You step off the sled. The huskies nuzzle close, then settle into a rest. One lays its head on your boot. You smile and scratch behind its ear. The snow continues to fall. The forest stretches quietly behind you, infinite in its calm. You take one last breath of cold, of cedar, of stillness. Then you exhale. There are no goodbyes here, only soft endings, and the knowledge that you can always return, any night, any winter, Anytime you need the hush of snow, the silence of pines, and the warmth of a forest that remembers, you step inside, close the door gently behind you, and whisper, "The forest is waiting any time for you and the huskies." The huskies are your best friends now. They can't wait to see you next time. They will be here, waiting for you. Good night, dreamer. Sleep well and hug that blanket very tight. See you next time.